Michael Storm, anarchist of comic books and co-owner of Amazing Fantasies comic book shop here in Topeka, Kansas. And I am back to do another preview of the brand new books that are available tomorrow, Wednesday, Comic Book Day, New Comic Book Wednesday. Before we do that, just take one quick second to click that like button, share this video around, tell somebody about comic books today, tell them how important it is to read and find adventure and fantasy and fun and escapism and reality, because the truth is, if you're reading these books out here, you're reading any, and it doesn't matter, even these ones, even these superhero books, they're all tales that reflect what is happening in our reality and in our time, if not, the past, or definitely what's going on right now. And there's a lot of value to be had in them. So let me tell you about what's new. Of course, we start off with the DC stuff because they're right here by the front door, and Absolute, because that's the A, right? A, B, C. I kind of try to keep this stuff in order, if you notice, and I am responsible for sort of managing the shelves out here, but you notice they're fairly well in order, and that's a very loud car, and that's a lot of noise for as slow as he's getting up that hill. So here's the big one right here. Absolute Flash is great. It continues. Everybody's loving it along with the rest of the Absolute stuff. But here's the big one. Here's the new one. Here's the Green Arrow. Ollie has gone into business and he's become a billionaire, and now he's dead, and it looks like his partner probably didn't, and his ex-girlfriend, ex-lover is the one that's going to have to protect his ex-partner from the guy who's out to seek revenge, who keeps leaving arrows in the sort of, just in people, let's just say. And there's some dead people, and it seems to be a little bit of a revenge. And who knows who's this? Who is this? Who's here behind this mask? We don't know. Brand new Batwoman. Lobo continues. All these real strong stories, and just so much going on in DC with them just being the kings right now. There's a great little facsimile right there. We have just a couple of copies of it in a blank. If I love those great Batman logos, and then you can draw on them, because this is the Neil Adams Batman, right? And Dick Giordano and Denny O'Neil. That's that Batman right there. That's one of the Batmans as far as people are concerned. New World's Finest, new Nightwing, still some DC X Sonic left in there, new Alias, brand new Spider-Man, and it looks like there's a new sort of antagonist, character thing, Spore, I don't know, life form. Predator Bloodshed continues. Get to definitely a highlight right here. Reborn, Ultimate Impact. This is Marvel's attempt at trying to save face after the demise of the Ultimate Universe. And so there'll be some repercussions, some things that hold over. And, all these people and more are involved, especially Miles. He has these artifacts, and he's been trying to get a hold of Tony to get them to him. And unfortunately, on the way to do that, after finally getting a hold of Tony, or hearing from Tony anyway, he runs into the Spot, and I don't know the Spot character huge, but Miles runs into him, and this was definitely one of the better uses I've seen of the Spot character, and all of these artifacts end up scattered throughout time, space, dimension, not really sure. They're just no longer present, and they appear with other people, and other people take on these artifacts and gain powers, and setting up a great little storyline there, and connecting that Ultimate Universe to the regular 6160 universe. Silver Surfer, this is another one of these fantastic facsimiles, and this is a couple of meetings with Mephisto in here, and then a great little story about the Watchers, the Watchers in there. There's still a few of these Spectacular Spider-Man Brand New Days up there as well. There was a new Weapons of Armageddon, and maybe, let's see, none of those made it to the shelf. That's right, X-Men United #3, fantastic cover, White Queen, Magneto, and Beast. nowhere to be found because they went into polls. I didn't even get one. And that was actually a mistake. So much my mistake. No, I don't blame other people, especially when I'm right here and I can use a computer and order the things myself. If I can't manage my own pull list, I don't get to blame anybody but me. You can manage your own pull list. We created an app for that, but we can talk about that later. I want to talk about this. Imperia, these fascist dragons have attacked a unicorn in this apartheid kingdom where the elves rule over everyone. Is that enough of a setup? Can I move on? Kill Switch, I didn't get into this one yet. Murder Drones, they get another book. Odin, this is interesting. Speaking of sort of fascist, racist, white people that believe they're entitled by blood, there's an interesting story shaping up in there. I don't know where it goes. Henchman was new. I have all three of these. 1, 2, 3 of those. All these are 1s, 2s. Early on, easy to jump into, always keeping that for the independents up here for you. 7 Wives, homeboy is dead. Oh, hey, actual stashed cover back behind there. Is there not? All right, well, that makes sense. Okay, I have one more spot that I have to fill. I knew that, actually, because I knew that there were 6 spots, and that one's going to just drop right in there, and then this one's going to go comfortably right over there. And so Babylon Cove, that was real interesting. I'm not exactly sure what's going on in there, because you start out in a sort of cursed tomb for a page or so, and there's something bad happens, and there's an idol, and the idol shows up later in the future, and it's one that you have to sit down and read the whole thing. There's just no way that I can really explain it to you. 7 Wives, what I started to say is this guy is dead, and this guy is attached to possibly a Mormon church, something along those lines. 7 Wives, and he's had 7 wives, and he didn't seem to be very nice to him, and so there's an investigation to try to figure that out. So many. Here's the big highlight for the independent stuff, and you see what I have? That's it. That's all I have. I have 2 of each of the covers. It's Dungeon Crawler Carl. It's volume 1. It's the first 13 episodes of the web series. Just a little bit of background on it, if you don't know about it. It's a sort of post-apocalyptic thing, but it's not the humans that did it. It's actually aliens. Sometime after first contact, we failed to meet some sort of agreement or something like that. And so the aliens have come to take the planet and take its resources. And poor Carl is kind of caught up in it here. He's just recently separated from his girlfriend, stuck with their cat Donut, and Donut just broke out outside, and it's a good thing, because if Carl hadn't followed Donut outside, he would have been in the apartment when it gets evaporated when the aliens land, and that's just the beginning. He gets some chance to prove himself by going on a dungeon adventure, and the cat is exactly what you would expect a cat to be in the story, is some sort of guide or something like that. So it's a fun story. I haven't read it all yet. That's why I don't know exactly what's going on there, and I never did see the webtoon, but it's the biggest thing around, and if those guys aren't here, I don't know what to tell you. They're going to be popular. When they did the free comic book day thing the other day, these were gone. People were calling. It was madness, insanity. I believe comic book shops were burned down. People will that I may have confused that with something else, Pokemon related. But people were definitely calling up about it and saying, "Oh man, are you kidding? I missed it already," and they did. Fantastic. This is a fun story. Is sort of American mythology tied in there, oil wells, oil rigs, working out in the heat, and you have this sort of oily creature mythology thing going on there. But I just love, if nothing else, this cover, right? This is an homage cover, Evil Dead. New young Hellboy, Zorro, fantastic swashbuckling stories. This is the book that you can win this month if you have a pull. That's all you have to do is have a current pull, and you could possibly win this book. It's signed by Jacob Williams. It's one of very few of them that were signed. There's only a handful of them available. We were able to get a couple of them. And let's see, I think that was probably just about it, guys. I tell you, you know the story. These wonderful stories, all of them, New Vampirilla #2 there, Legacy 689, Rockefeller Zero, that one was new. This Escape from Skull Island is new. Nectar #3, I have 1, 2, 3 on that, including some nudie covers, if that's your thing. And, you know, face it, it is for some of us. Look, they'll either be here or they won't when you get here. You know the deal, and that's why you need to be on a pull if you want these fantastic stories, if you want to guarantee, well, as close as you can guarantee to get these fantastic stories every week when they come out. Do me a favor, click that like button, tell somebody about Amazing Fantasies, and we'll catch you on the next one.